Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Our team coverage on the vaccine in the Valley continues throughout the evening. At 6, hear from a Fargo business manager hoping local leaders will step up to help service industry workers, just like they did for business owners. With traffic down 50%, she says last night's decision to waive $1 million worth of fees for bars and restaurants still leaves staff in the dark. And tonight at 10, comparing the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. Plus, can your employer require you to get it? Stick with Valley News Live on air and online. It may not feel like it just yet, but the warm-up is coming. We'll get those details in a little bit. But first, let's check this evening's forecast. Hutch?
Andrea, thanks so much. Temperatures did warm up, and it doesn't feel exactly hot out there. Comparatively speaking, we've spent most of the month of December with highs in the 30s and even some days in the 40s. So 20s average for this time of the year have returned to the Southern Valley. We have teens in northwest Minnesota. Satellite and radar shows snow showers moving from the Watertown area all the way up into the Iron Range and Duluth areas. That's where there's a little bit more concentrated snowfall activity. No snow for us this evening, but that changes in a bit. Your planner for tonight: temperatures steady. Wind persistent out of the south at around 10 miles per hour. It will remain cloudy. We might get a brief break before more clouds build in, and we have hump day flakes in the forecast, Andrea. I'll have hour-by-hour details, but by morning I expect them to be making their way into the Devil's Lake Basin for a potentially slippery drive to work for some in the valley. I'll have details on when these flakes hit your neighborhood here in just a few moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch. 2 people are now facing charges after police say they were stealing from vehicles. Around 1 this afternoon, someone called Fargo PD reporting items stolen from their vehicle at Shields Home and Hardware on 13th Avenue South. Officers found the 2 suspects inside with stolen items from the store and the caller's vehicle. All stolen items were returned. We have hit the 24-hour mark since hundreds of healthcare workers received the COVID-19 vaccine here in the Valley. But tonight, your questions linger as far as what's next for the rest of us. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard explains the process and checked on how many are feeling after getting the vaccine.
I feel great. No major side effects, just a little soreness in the arm, very mild.
Dr. Avish Nagpal, the first to get the COVID-19 vaccine in North Dakota, says the shot didn't stop him from his normal activities Tuesday. No fever or fatigue. And so far, his colleagues are saying the same thing.
I didn't have any side effects. I have a little tenderness in the spot, but other than that, nothing.
Sanford clinical care leader RN Melanie Allen saying her experience working with COVID patients the last 9 months has been its own beast.
I can't compare anything else that I've done in the last 7 years at Sanford or 15 years as a nurse. Some days better than others. We've had a few victories and sadly, a lot of losses. It makes you appreciate the things you have when you have them.
Allen adding she's fortunate to be one of the first to get vaccinated and hopes you'll take her advice when you're next in line.
I didn't feel anything bad from it, so I feel reassured in being able to tell people that they should go ahead and get it too.
Sanford says there's more to come as it will be through 2021 before the general public can get the vaccine. For now, the health department is helping the hospital get a consistent weekly supply of vaccines, letting employees know by email who's next in line. Criteria for getting the vaccine is different depending what side of the river you're on. Dr. Doug Griffin with Sanford saying Minnesota wanted to pause to allow for education to not vaccinate for 5 to 7 days.
I'm hearing they may change that and allow some vaccines to go forward later this week. We actually need to be very careful about this, that we vaccinate people working in our North Dakota facilities.
In Fargo, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
Sanford says Moderna's coronavirus vaccine should be here next week, and they should have all their employees vaccinated by the end of the month. Altru in Grand Forks expects to receive a vaccine tomorrow. Essentia tells us they'll have a timeline for vaccine rollout soon. 2 people involved in the killing of 33-year-old Fargo man have now been sentenced. Court records show that 31-year-old Cameron St. Clair will spend the next 15 years behind bars for murdering Richard Stephen. Court documents reveal the deadly fight began when the victim's girlfriend was being catcalled from another vehicle. She was reportedly attacked by 34-year-old Aaron Sunby, who was sentenced today to 4 months in jail, while Stephen was beaten by 2 men. He later died at a local hospital. In Polk County tonight, the sheriff's office wants you to know about thefts targeting 20 to 30-pound propane tanks around the region. Deputies are asking you to secure your property to keep these thefts from happening. And they say if you're winterizing your lake cabin, make sure to secure any propane tanks that might be left outside, along with any fish houses that are left on the lake. As the nation passes 300,000 coronavirus deaths, there's new hope. Today, the FDA confirmed the effectiveness and safety of a vaccine, this one from Moderna. The ruling comes on the second day of the coast-to-coast rollout of the Pfizer vaccine. Danya Bacchus has the latest from Los Angeles.
From New Jersey to San Francisco, it's a scene playing out in hospitals across the country. For a second day, frontline healthcare workers are receiving Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine.
To anyone out there who is having any reservations about taking the vaccine, please, it's a safe and, from the data we have available, effective way of protecting everybody.
141 sites received shipments Monday, and the government plans to deliver 2.9 million doses to 636 locations this week. U.S. officials want to vaccinate 50 million people by February. Today, an FDA panel declared the Moderna vaccine safe and effective. It's expected to jump 2 more hurdles before distribution as soon as next week. The FDA also approved the first over-the-counter at-home rapid coronavirus test, which provides test results in as little as 20 minutes. The test will be available early next year.
With hospitalizations soaring, health officials here in California are hailing the vaccine's arrival. On Monday, the state shattered a single-day record with 42,000 new coronavirus cases.
There is light at the end of the tunnel, but we're still in the tunnel. And that means we're going through perhaps the most intense and urgent moment since the beginning of this pandemic.
We wanted to take a moment to urge everyone in our region to do your part.
Today, a group of bipartisan governors from the Midwest pleaded with people to double down on wearing masks, social distancing, and hand washing. Health experts caution coronavirus cases will continue to spike through the holiday season. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Health officials are especially worried about the number of increasing cases going into the holiday season. Today, AAA predicted nearly 85 million people are expected to travel during the holiday period ending January 3rd. The first COVID-19 vaccine has been administered in Minnesota. A VA nurse was the first person in the state to get the vaccine. The governor is calling this a week of national triumph. He also said vaccine shipments have arrived in northern Minnesota and more are on the way.
And as we speak now, shipments have arrived at 2 locations in Bemidji and Olmsted Medical, and 5 more will arrive later today, and the rest will go out over the next week or so. Minnesota Department of Health is doing exactly what the Minneapolis VA did, and we're learning from them, putting the protocols in place, the training, the certification, and those things will start to happen. So we're grateful for that. We're grateful for this team that's here. Minnesotans,
Walz told Minnesotans to have hope, but to continue to wear masks and socially distance as the general public waits for the vaccine. Joe Biden's inaugural committee is announcing safety measures to protect public health during the inauguration next month. Despite the pandemic, Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris will be sworn into office on the steps of the U.S. Capitol on January 20th. He will deliver the traditional inauguration address from a platform. The federal open enrollment period for the Affordable Care Act ends at midnight tonight. It's the last chance for millions of uninsured Americans to buy coverage for 2021. A study by the Kaiser Family Foundation found more than 15 million people can get free coverage or a reduced price. In the states that operate their own exchanges, the enrollment deadlines may extend into next month. The Moorhead Police Department is now mourning the loss of a longtime canine partner. Officers say Milo passed away unexpectedly this past weekend. Milo has been with the Moorhead Police Department since 2011. The First Lady spread some holiday cheer to sick children at Children's National Hospital today. This was her 4th holiday visit there. The event had to be scaled down due to COVID, but the reading was beamed to all the rooms in the hospital. After Mrs. Trump finished, she took part in a favorite activity of the children, Holiday Bingo.
Say a special hello to Colleen. I hope you're feeling well and stay strong and keep fighting. I'm sending you much love. I'm thinking of you all. Stay strong and well, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
The tradition of the First Lady visiting children's hospitals dates back more than 70 years. We are still looking for help with our virtual food drive. You could help us reach the $14,000 mark tonight. If you are in a position to help, there are a number of items that you can purchase and donate right from your phone. Download our free VNL News app, look for the virtual food drive, and then click to donate. Coming up a little later, what employers are looking for when they're hiring.
But next, we are expecting a chance of some hump day snow showers. I'll have details on how much and when it arrives coming up right after this.
You're watching Valley News Live on TV, online, and on the go. Always on, wherever you are, whenever you need to know. Valley News Live. For the